Ooh.
I'll flip it.
I was just trying to move it back a little bit.
Gotcha.
It's like quiet though. It's like I expect to hear something from somebody else. I mean, they would all file in, maybe a door opening and a door closed or something. That would be great. I used to do that on America Online. When people enter a room, or you could like set the thing to have your friends when they come online, it would sound like a door opening.
Hey, somebody's watching. It's me.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Torah Living. Living Torah through Torah living. Bettering ourselves to do those things that are requested of us of the Most High. Some of us may be going through some things. Personal things, spiritual things, physical things. Dealing with family, dealing with children, the law, all of the above. Some of you may know somebody that's going through something. I know we're a sherry kind of people, and that's a Tammy term. Thank you for being sherry, is what she told me. But we like to share. We like to let people know what's going on in our lives. Sometimes it's not always a good thing. We do it in a way that seems innocent, innocent enough to where, they're not exactly, well, some of them do it, constantly or not subconsciously, but consciously looking for attention. It's something that a lot of us do to try and cope, to help us feel better. Some just love the attention. Sometimes they'll sensationalize their stories so that they can receive more of said attention. They can manipulate people who listen to what they say. To have empathy, sympathy, that "oh" kind of thing, and I'm so there for you, whatever you need. Some will even go, when I say they sensationalize a story, they lie about a lot of things. I've witnessed a lot of people who post on Facebook that they want, people to contribute and donate to their PayPal and GoFundMe, for one cataclysmic reason to another. Like, look, ain't nobody that unlucky. That was wrong of me. I shouldn't say that. Some people actually, are like wowsy, woo-woo, Eeyore from, Winnie the Pooh. But, so they'll lie. They'll not only lie on themselves, they'll lie on other people. Which brings us to what we're coming up with and supposed to be talking about today. Bearing false witness. Well, some people think, well, that, if they're bearing false witness, they're bearing a false witness to, they're lying on someone else. That's not just true. You can bear a false witness to yourself. Anything you can lie about or on is a false witness. Every time you share it with somebody, you're bearing a false witness. When people get on Facebook and they tell all these stories about themselves and about their lives, about the people who harmed them in their lives, sometimes it's 100% truth. Sometimes it's 0. Sometimes it's 20%, obviously I can go on and on with that one, but when it's up to the only person, when it comes down to the only two people that knows about what happened are that person who's telling you the story and Yah, then that's who it should be between. That includes you. Unless you have a legitimate need. But also, when you have a legitimate need, the first person you should go to is Yah. He is the provider. He is the Elohim. He is the Elohinu. There is no one higher. There is no one greater. There is no one who has more power. There is no one who provides more for you. Somebody down the street might give you $5, but can they breathe life into you so that you get up the next day? Can they heal you when you're sick, hurt? Can they raise you from the dead and pass you from death to life? He who clothes you, he who feeds you, is the one you should first turn to every time. So, make Facebook not even an option on your menu. It's really, it's so tempting. It's so tempting. I a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I don't know. It seems like, everybody does it, and it seems like it's the right thing to do to just broadcast your dirty laundry all over the internet.
Not me.
Well, you're among the minority. I physically have to stop myself. Like, what am I doing? Erase, delete. Oh, no. No, they don't need to know about that. Let's keep it about Yah. Let's keep it about, focusing on the Messiah. That's what we need to do. So, we're going to get started into reading these scriptures, and, Shabbat Shalom, those of you who are tuning in.
Yes, it's Rosalind, Charlene, Bruce Lee, somebody that I have no idea who that is.
Bruce Lee, you are in my prayers, man. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. A bit of stomach poisoning, food poisoning. I feel bad for you, man. I've been through that before. Tammy and I also. Mm-hmm. Eating some Captain D's. I don't know if you eat that place. Eat at that. Whoa.
I want to clarify something what you were just talking about. We're not coming from a place of saying don't post your prayer requests. Don't post those types of things. Because that that can be personal too.
Yeah, no.
Not things like that. Just
I mean, things that are
like when you share a story and you change it 2 days later because you're making your situation look worse so you can get attention. Don't do that. Don't do that.
absolutely. Thank you, Tammy.
I'm sorry.
Because I mean, no, specificity is paramount. I mean, people need to understand where you're coming from and what you actually mean. Definitive. Ralph, Shabbat Shalom, brother. Charlene, Shabbat Shalom, sis. Glad you can make it again. Yeah, so, what I was talking about is when you got a sensitive story, something that, you have a growth on your right butt cheek, I don't think that Facebook needs to know about that, probably say, I have an issue, a health issue, say a prayer for me, that it, all things go well in the future. But yeah, I mean, if it's of a personal nature, something that's really sensitive, I've read countless posts about people who were molested as children. Now, I know that they have a story to tell, and I don't discount what happened to them. But if what happened to you, you're 60 years old, and what happened to you was when you were 3. I don't think Facebook should be the platform for that, and that's just my opinion. Couth, decorum, all those things, they become a factor. They play a factor. If you're looking for attention, write a book, sell it, make some money, advertise. I don't know. That whole thing is just getting into judging people, and I don't really want to do that. I mean, that's a waste of my 24 hours. I see it, I feel bad for them, or I look up and see a lot of red flags in what they're saying. Discernment is huge when you're listening to someone tell a story about someone else. I've had people to tell stories on me. I mean, some whoppers. Mm-hmm. And, they bore serious false witness. They lied so bad. And Yah says not to repay evil for evil. That's why you never see me respond or retaliate or err, anymore. Because I used to do that on Facebook. We used to have wars on Facebook. And, not just with, people that would lie on you, but, man, Torah observer people will go off, go crazy. But I like to, that change that Yahusha made in me, that Yahuwah made in me through Yahusha, that, whatever I go through, I go to him and him alone. And that's it. That is my example to you guys. I'm not a teacher. I'm your fellow servant. But what I know, I share. And that's what I do. I'm a sharer. Tammy told me. She said I'm so sharing. So, anybody got anything to add to that, or testimony or whatever before we get started into the other thing? I would be
let me read some
delighted.
You've got some comments.
Okay.
So let me see your phone here. Oh, and the other person that was watching was Jamie P. Rivamonte.
Okay.
I may be pronouncing that wrong. I couldn't see it on mine because I'm not friends with that person.
You said Jamie P. Rip him up and what now?
Spit him out. Let's see. Bruce said that his chills have calmed down a bit. Praise Yah. Charlene said Shabbat Shalom. Roblin said Shabbat Shalom. Bruce, stop it. Bruce said, where is it written that we are to stand up and give a public testimony? Roblin said, public, no, but in group, yes. Bruce said, we confess our sins only to the one whom we transgressed, especially Abba Yahuwah. And Bruce said, I know prayer works. Boy, does it ever.
Mm-hmm.
Roblin, replying to Bruce's comment above about where does it say, bring that out in public. He said, I think in James or Timothy it does say it says to defend. Revenge is only for Yah. So.
All right.
I was getting ready to close it out.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Oops.
Well, let me clarify. I'm not saying that, there's a scripture that says that you have to do a testimony or anything like that. No. I don't understand where or why that is such a big thing, but other than, to have people know. Now, if you're uncovering evil, there is a certain level or somewhere in Scripture. I can't remember where it is. I'm not going to act like I do. But there is a Scripture that says that you should expose evil for what it is. Those who are have nefarious plans and are out to steal, and deceive, you ought to uncover those people. You ought to, expose the lie for what it is. That's what I say. That's what I hear, and I haven't ran across that. Maybe you guys can look it up, and before we're done here, we can discuss that. Because that's an important thing that we would need to know in dealing with each other and how to deal with each other if we are to, be righteous or self-righteous. The Bible, the word Torah does speak against being self-righteous, because when they brought that woman to the master, who was in the very midst or caught in the very act of committing adultery, and they caught her in the act, and they brought her to the master, and they lauded him, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do? We got her in the act. You talking all this love stuff. What you gonna do? So I brought that up to say that, we all have our faults. We all have our issues. We all have our flaws. Every single one of us has something buried in a closet somewhere. And if you don't, good on you, because not a lot of us can say that.
Right.
That is wonderful if you do. Then you can be, righteous without being self-righteous. Sorry. So what I'm saying is, we'll come across that later. People love to be judgmental, and I really don't. I don't even want us going down that path. We have a full plate. We have enough to do with just doing what He asked us to do, and He'll strengthen us one day so that our load can be enlarged. When you're good with a little thing, He's faithful to give you more.
Mm-hmm.
I just read that in Luke. When you're good with a little, He'll give you more. But you have to understand that the more you get, the more will be required of you. So keep that in mind also. I don't want that to discourage you either, because I know that they say that in churches, to whom much is given, much is required. So do as little as you can. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Do as much as you can. Do as much as you can. Mm-hmm. If He gives it to you, Yah would never give you more than you could bear. Now, if He gives you a lot, that means you can hold a lot, and that means you're on His radar for somebody whom He can depend on. Now, He doesn't have respect of men, but if He can depend on you to get done what He needs to get done, like He did with Moshe. Moshe tried everything to get out of what he was. No, I don't want to. I got a speech impediment. You want me to go to talk to the
Wow.
Pharaoh? He had a speech impediment. He had a serious one. So y'all was like, who made your mouth? Boy, you better get moving like I told you. What are you doing? I can't. I don't want to. Look, you're making me angry. Fine, take Aaron, take your brother, but you going, So if he's dependent on you to do something, I mean, if he tells you to do it or he commands you to do it, you're going to. So if he gives you more, that means you studied and showed yourself approved. You are approved. You are acknowledged to graduate it even, to be better, to be a leader, to be an elder. It's an honor. So absolutely be encouraged to do more than just status quo.
Let me know when you're ready.
I will.
Okay.
So, like unto the guy, 3 guys. One was given the 1 talent. One was given the 5 talent. The other one was given 10. So you all know that story. Don't be that guy with the 1. Because if you're only doing what's required, and you do nothing more, that has a drawback. Because the guy with the 1 talent, he went and buried it. Went and buried it. And so what happens when it came time that, they all had to ante up? The guy with the 5 talents made 10. The guy with the 10 made 20. They put it to work. With the one guy, with the 1, See, I knew you was a hard man. I knew you was a rough man, and you didn't want nobody messing with your money. And so, I decided that I wasn't gonna mess with your money. What I did was I took your money and I hid it. Heard it. Yeah, don't be that guy. Anyway, so we'll get started doing the other thing. I mean, sorry, babe.
Wow.
What? Wow. What are you eating?
Doritos.
What? Now?
Yeah.
How you gonna read with a mouthful of Doritos?
I don't have a mouthful. I'm gonna
Well,
swallow
not
it.
anymore. You just swallowed it.
Not yet, but I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
I feel judgment.
Right
here.
No, not at all. So we're going to go ahead and get into the commandments defined. False witness.
Right. Because people be lying.
People lie.
People be lying. Exodus 20:16. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
That's the commandment. Don't do it. Don't lie on people. Don't lie on yourself. If you got a job that is not very sparkly, not very glamorous, don't sensationalize a story, adding bits of untruths to truths, because it makes the whole thing untrue. If somebody else did something to you, if they only stole a pencil and you said they stole your car and your pencil because the pencil was in the car, don't do that. Sensationalizing a story to make it more fantastic. Oh, I hate that. Don't do it.
Were you talking about my glamorous job? Working at the ZX?
Eating Doritos?
You're right. Fancy.
Right.
All right. Proverbs 21:28. Proverbs. I kind of laughed that out there. 21:28. A false witness will perish, but the man who listens to the truth will speak forever.
There you go. Selah. These are some ones that, I mean, you don't really, you don't need a hell lot of commentary, mate. You know, it's just right there.
Well, you better be commenting so I can type this
You
out.
better
Get to
be
the
commenting
next one.
so I can go ahead and type. So sassy and bossy, controlling and manipulative.
You love it.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Let's see. Leviticus 6, 1 through 3. This is really small. Elohim said to Moses, if anyone sins and is unfaithful by deceiving a neighbor about something entrusted to them, or left in their care about something stolen, or if they cheat their neighbor, or if they find lost property and lie about it, or if they swear falsely about any such sin that people may commit. When they sin in any of these ways and realize their guilt, they must return what they have stolen, or taken by extortion, or what was entrusted to them, or the lost property they found, or whatever it was they swore falsely about. They must make full restitution. I went a little further. I went to 5.
Oh, that's great. That explains a lot of it. You know, you see somebody drop their wallet. Here comes need versus greed versus righteousness versus self-righteousness. You say you're in a bad spot. You haven't eaten for a couple of days. You know, a Christian would say, y'all just gave me money.
Praise the Lord. I just found this wallet with $100.
Jeebus is looking out for me.
It's a blessing.
A righteous person would immediately, obviously this is, you know what they would do. A righteous person would be like, hey, you dropped this. This is yours. Thank you. Or, you're welcome. And move on about their day and seek Yah for their provisions. Greedy person will wait until he get halfway down the street standing on the wallet. They'll make sure nobody else is looking. Pick that wallet up, put it in their pocket, find someplace dark in a corner and go through the contents. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm not committing no credit card fraud. Nope. I don't need that. Ooh, wads of cash. Just what the doctor ordered. Oh yeah. But the Torah says that if you come to the realization that what you're doing is just outlandishly wrong, okay, put everything back in the wallet. You made sure you didn't spend any other money, and if you did, you made good, you made restitution, you put it back. You find this person and you give them back their things that you stolen or extorted or nefariously acquired. Cheated somebody, tricked somebody out of their money or their cash. These scams that from Nigeria. Oh my gosh! I'm telling you, I didn't know so many princes existed in my whole life that, wanted you specifically to, open up a bank account, get a green dot card, and hold their $5.7 million. Yeah, because they have nowhere else to put it. You're the only one. You're the only one on the planet that can hold their $5.7 million in your brand new bank account with your green dot card that you get from Walgreens or Walmart. Yeah. So, you give them their things back, you make sure you make it right. And that's the only way that, you know, you can get out of breaking that commandment. Keep that in mind.
Rick Marlin is here.
Shabbat Shalom, Rick Marlin.
He said, what a blessing from heaven. That's
all
right.
day. All day. No, I'm just kidding. So,
look at the Lord. He gave me a new
the
home.
Lord.
The Lord.
Gave us some new friends.
All right. Sorry. Jeremiah 5:2. Although they say, as surely as the Messiah lives, still they are swearing falsely. Right on.
They're swearing falsely. So, you know, that one just rubs me all kinds of the wrong way. I mean, we know we're not supposed to swear.
That'd be like sandpaper pants.
Sandpaper pants turned inward, that she means. You know.
Not comfy.
Not at all. Swearing
Don't be a liar.
falsely means that you declare whatever it is. You put that emphasis on the lie. You know, I heard it in my hood, you know, when they mean something that they want someone to take truth for truth, they'll say, I put that on my mama. I put that on everything. God blang it, blank it. I swear this is the truth. That's swearing falsely. When you know it's a blatant bald-faced lie.
It's like when people are like, well, to be honest, oh man, see right there, you about to lie.
Yep. When somebody, this has been proven scientifically and statistically that when anyone starts off with honestly or truthfully, or when they preface something with, you know, what do you call it, a preparation word, they'll get ready to lie.
Truthfully, I like your watch.
Anyway, so yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah, we know what swearing is. Swearing falsely.
Yes.
That's it.
Right. Okay. Hosea 10:4. They spout empty words and make covenants they don't intend to keep. So injustice springs up among them like poisonous weeds in a farmer's field.
The lies you sprinkle, trouble is sure to follow. It is sure to follow just as the sun pops up in the east, sets in the west. I did a trick on somebody. You guys could try this, and I'll text you guys later about it. How to, you know, trick some people to find out if they're really smart or not. You know, just ask them a question about does the sun rise in the north or the south? And you'll be surprised the answers you receive. Don't give it away. Just let them try to figure it out. You know, does the sun rise in the north or the south? And they'll just be like, oh, I'm thinking north, but, you know, it might be the south. It could.
Come on now, Greg. I mean, Greg answered it right. Greg answered it very technically.
Yeah, Greg was,
That's my babe.
But it was just Greg. I mean, everybody
Right,
else was
everybody
like, oh,
else. Well, at least, you know, I mean, like, get
the
some
sun
props.
rises in the north.
I homeschooled that kid.
Final answer. Sure you don't want to use a lifeline on that one, buddy? Good.
Let's see. Psalms 119, 104. I gain understanding from your precepts. Therefore, I hate every wrong path.
That is righteousness. To hate evil, to hate sin, to hate the lies, to hate those things that transgress the law, to hate those things that are against Yah is not sin. It's not self-righteous, but righteousness. And while she's looking up the next verse, We'll check on the comments. Anybody got some comments?
I don't know. Rosalind said if it's nameless, it's mine. Bearing false witness against a neighbor, Exodus 20. Let's see. Let me scroll up, sorry. Okay, New Testament. If one is giving a testimony or preaching, we must also be ready to defend our faith. That was from Rosalind. Defend to the death, I believe it says. That's why Aaron was given the job.
Right.
Bruce Lee said back. I guess he had to leave for a minute. Rick Marlin said, "Shalom, fam. Shalom." And then smiley, like, silly laughy faces, you know.
Okay.
What a blessing from heaven. Yep, that's it. But I've got the next stuff.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next scripture. Those of you just tuning in, Shabbat Shalom, Torah Living. We're defining the commandments so that there won't be any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mm-hmm. Right now we're doing false witness.
1 Corinthians 15:15. More than that, we are then found to be false witnesses about Yah. For we have testified about Yah that he raised Messiah from the dead. But he did not raise him if in fact the dead are not raised.
Which one was that?
1 Corinthians 15:15. Let me read that again. Let me go to a different version.
Was that from Rosalind? That was from Rob, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
More than that, we are then found to be false witnesses about Yah. For we have testified about Yah that he raised Messiah from the dead. But he did not raise him if in fact the dead are not raised.
Right. So what they're going through there is a lot of people were saying that there was no resurrection. The people people that are dead, they just stay dead. And what he was saying is if I understand you guys correctly, we're bearing false witness because Yah says that he has raised the Messiah from the dead. And from what you guys are saying, that doesn't happen. The dead just stay dead. That we're liars is what you're calling us. You're saying that we're bearing false witness. Heaven forbid that it be so, that you be true and that Yah is a liar. No. Let's flip that around. Let every man be a liar and that Yah be most righteous and is the truth. So, yeah. So, a lot of people who are non-resurrectionists, because they still exist, say that won't happen. It never happened. They say that there is no Yahusha. You know, he lived during a time when, you know, he could get over. He was a con artist. He was this, that, and the other thing. And you know what they said about him. So, yeah, that was a pretty good one. It caught me off guard, though. But, you know, having read that and knowing the context, you know, this is how people get tripped up if they don't read the whole thing.
Right.
You won't understand what they're talking about, and you'll be forced to go with what they just posted, and that be it. But if you read it, you'll know how it goes, and you'll know how to properly receive it.
I didn't like the version that I read from either, because in most versions it does say resurrection, not just, you know, raise the dead. Which,
right.
I mean, whatever. King James is what I know. I need to get off of that.
Oh, King Jimmy.
1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoid profaning and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Talking crap. Just random crap. We all know people like that.
Shut your mouth.
Who just goes off about how they know all these famous people, how they, you know, rich, they're part of the mafia, and have some kind of crazy background. You know, I'm part Egyptian, part Japanese, part Cherokee, and part Aborigine. Yep. And I was also, you know, I'm like the third, fourth cousin on his mom's brother's nephew's side of the Queen of England. And I'm also, you know, nephew to Donald Trump. I mean,
And he's been murdered twice. Twice.
I'm telling you, I've been killed it. I've been killed it 3 or 4 times, but I come back every time, you know, because black people got a sense of humor. I like popcorn sometimes. Never. I hate popcorn, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, those kind of people that just randomly just say lies just for no reason at all, just come out of left field with a lie, and you didn't even ask for it. You didn't ask them. Well, he's like, sir, who are you and why are you in my house? Well, see, the thing is, I built this house. You know, I built it. Matter of fact, I built it 5 years ago. This house was built last year. Well, see, that thing is, we tore it down. And then I brought it back because, you know, that's the kind of person I am. Thank you. You're welcome very much.
Wow.
You got the next one, or you just...
Yes, I was just enjoying you being goofy.
Don't judge me.
No judgment coming from over here.
So, yeah, those random people, they, you know, random lies just for no reason at all lies.
But sometimes people are random just for the sake of randomness. It's not that they're lying. They're just random.
Yeah, but then...
Like, oh, I love those curtains.
But we're not talking about those people.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying.
I mean,
I just wanted to say.
We're not talking about you. 2 points.
No brownie points for you.
Brownie?
Yep.
No brownies.
If I made brownies, if I would have made brownies today, you'd have been like, oh, I didn't think I wanted brownies, but now I want brownies.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I want some brownies.
Right.
I love me some brownies. Yeah.
Matthew 7:15. 7:15 of Matthew. Matthew 7. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves.
Well,
they gonna eat you alive.
We see these every day on Facebook. False prophets. People who think they got Yah figured out without knowing Yah.
Well, it's like that guy that Roblin posted about that was claiming to be the Messiah and stuff. Oh man, I can't even deal with that.
Let your yeses be yeses. Let your no's be no's. Those people that don't come with Yah's doctrine, don't even entertain it. Don't even try to correct them. It is folly. I mean, you can tell when somebody's like kind of on the mark and you can nudge them into correct. But there are some people that are so far wrong that you would take half your lifetime trying to correct them. Let Yah rope them in. Don't think that you are so vain as to, think that you are the only way for that person to come back to the path. Yah draws all men. He draws whom he will. Keep that in mind. I mean, it's a touchy subject sometimes because, a lot of people misinterpret it. They don't understand what that means. Yah does the roping. We do the nudging and the correcting and holding hands and standing together so that we may be stronger in the body. But don't be pumped up more than what you ought. Be humble and serve your brethren and sisterin. Charlene.
I'm here too. What about me?
Oh yeah, and Tammy too.
Wow, I can't even be dealing with you right now.
How dare you?
Proverbs 14:5. An honest witness does not deceive, but a false witness spews out lies.
That's what they do. I really don't need to.
Yeah, don't even be lying.
Fluff that one up.
Why you gotta lie when the truth would sound better? You know what I mean?
Sensationalizing a story. That's what, people like. Do we have any comments?
Probably.
So bossy and stuff.
call me bossy and sassy?
Mm-hmm.
You like it, hush. Bruce Lee said the serpent was the first to bear false witness, and he did it against the Creator.
Sure did.
Surely you will not die, for Elohim knows that when you eat of it, you will be
as he is.
Lithium, knowing all things, both good and evil.
Like him.
It says lithium. I was like, well, I'm just reading. I'm like, lithium, what does that mean?
He was like him.
Lithium. It says lithium.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh, he said spell check like him is what I meant, not lithium, right?
Told you.
Well, I mean, look, I read the comments as they are, y'all. I ain't got time to be sorting out y'all's spell check messes.
Whatever.
Here, grab the phone.
Okay, all right. So we got it.
That was funny. I've done that with Roblin too. Like when his autocorrect will do something.
Yeah, Roblin's phone hates him.
Yes.
He will just autocorrect just random stuff for no reason. Lithium. Yes, he knows that when you eat the fruit, you become a battery for your phone.
Or a drug for depression.
And you have to be careful because most people like just tuning in would be like, if we eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, we'll be like a battery, a wealth of knowledge. Then they'll go and just roll on with that thing, and next thing you know, you got some kind of lithium ion religion.
Well, maybe I need to. You know what? I'll do better next time. I won't just mindlessly read it. I'll
proofread it, pre-read it in your head before.
Right, because I don't. I mean, when it's comments, I'm just like. All right, you know what? I feel some judgment right now.
No, I'm just glad the light bulb works. I was just playing. Love you. Okay, let's go ahead.
That was rude, man.
I said I was sorry.
Dang.
Oh gosh.
Deuteronomy 5:20. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. I think it probably says something about don't be rude to your lady either.
No,
but I'm just
it just says false witness.
Okay.
You know, the truth, kind of hurts. Ow! Stop it.
Wow.
So next one.
I'm trying to get to it now, sir. Thank you.
That attitudinal. Oh my gosh.
Y'all ain't seen
Bruce, have you
nah.
ever had any, issues like this? I know. Did you say you were out of town, Bruce? Where you at? What you doing?
Let's see. Proverbs 12:17. An honest witness tells the truth, but a false witness tells lies. It seems like that is just the one I just looked up, but I don't think it is.
Well, it probably
it's
it
close.
repeats.
Yeah, I see.
So,
I mean, I was just making sure that I did not repeat.
So if y'all didn't know, people that are truthful, and people that tell lies
Are liar faces.
Pants on fire faces. Yep. We've got a lot of scriptures. I mean, that's another thing that when we do these things so that we can define, the commandments. I mean, I had no idea that we would run into so many different scriptures on these commandments, and just so you know that he placed them throughout the entire Torah.
Let's see. Proverbs 25:18. Like a club and a sword and a piercing arrow is a man who testifies falsely against his neighbor. Here's another version. I actually like this better. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a heavy sledgehammer and a sword and a sharp arrow. It means you hurt people. Don't lie on people. That ain't good.
Lies do hurt. Words do hurt. So, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. Yeah, okay. Tell that to people who are falsely imprisoned because somebody lied on them. Some people who are going through some stuff in life, having to be under the thumb of the law because somebody lied. It happens. Words do hurt. Like a sledgehammer.
Indeed. And that would hurt upside the head. Well, upside anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Remind me of that
It
song.
wouldn't hurt me,
Sledgehammer.
though. You know, if I upside somebody else's head, it wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't feel that.
Right, but if you had one.
I feel
upside
bad
your-
for them.
Remember that song, Sledgehammer?
Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
Right. All right. Deuteronomy 19:18. See, there was the randomness. That's funny. Deuteronomy 19:18. The judges must investigate the case thoroughly if the accuser has brought false charges against his fellow Israelite.
So we see this on Facebook where we got people that are arguing against one another. I know two people that come straight to mind. And you listening to both sides. You know that one of them can't be telling the truth. You know that one of them's got to be lying. You have to, if you're going to be a judge, Yah says, if you're going to be a judge of your neighbor, of your brethren, you know, actually a fellow believer, which we have a right to do. It's not that, you know, nobody can judge. You know, Yah's the only judge. No, Yah says that we can judge one another. But when we do so, it has to be a righteous judgment. That means that there can be no emotion, no bias, no, you know, leaning towards another person because he slipped you a 50, no, you know, favoritism. It has to be just and equal balance. And that's kind of hard to do, so a lot of people choose or opt not to do it, you know, which is probably the better course of action. But you weigh the pros and the cons. You listen to all the facts. You mean, and if you have questions to ask, please ask questions to those red flags that pop up in certain stories. You know, are they sensationalizing their story? Are they bearing false witness against their brother or sister? Are they lying to make their story more appealing so that they can receive more sympathy, more, you know, because, you know, we're emotional creatures. One of the first things that we do is, you know, is when somebody talks about something that happened to a kid. Instant anger, instant grief, instant, you know.
Or a woman.
Women or children? Absolutely. Absolutely. In these days, animals and pets, dogs in particular.
Ugh.
People,
Let's move on. I baby barfed.
people
In my mouth a
go
little.
people go nuts. You know, one of the first things they do to get you hooked into, you know, being biased or showing them favoritism is they tag your emotions with a gut punch.
Stay out of your emotions.
Hard to do, easy to say. You know, so.
Well, I mean, you're so wonderful. I never get in my emotions. I mean, that's just so.
Oh no.
Just kidding. Anyway. Matthew 19:18. Which ones, he inquired. Yahusha replied, You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false witness.
All of those we covered except for the steal. We still have we still have to do that.
I see what you did there. Did you see what I just did? No, I didn't think so.
What'd you do?
I was just kidding.
You did something?
See, you can't. See.
Oh.
You can't see. It was a play on words there, just like you did.
I didn't see none of that.
Hey, watch this.
So anyway, yeah. So he just went through half of the, a little less than half of the commandments, which we've already gone over, except for the steal one. So you ready with the next one?
Yes, Mark 10:19. You know the commandments. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony. You shall not defraud. Honor your father and your mother.
So the other book that Yahushua was saying what you should and should not do, he went a little further to include the mother and the father. No coveting, defrauding, coveting, and the other three that he mentioned, the stealing, killing, and bearing false witness. Don't do it. It's out of the mouth of the master. And with that, we're going to see if we have any more comments.
You move your arm. I can't. Bruce said, I'm in Sterling, Nebraska for the weekend for work. My home is in Niles, Michigan, but I'm rarely at home. I work on the road.
Nice.
Oh, man, he's on the road and he's not feeling good. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
We're praying. You want to grab your phone?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Stuck in a hotel in Nebraska. Ooh, it's cold up there. Hope you're nice and warm, brother. So let's move on. How many more we got? So
like 4.
We got 4 more.
Luke 18:20 is the same as last one. You know the commandments. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony. Honor your father and your mother. That was quick.
Yeah. You'd be amazed how fast you can read without Doritos in your mouth.
I haven't read anything with Doritos in my mouth, thank you.
Well, I can't see. I don't know. Stop yelling.
Stop bearing false witness, please.
I see what she did there. No, I really don't. I don't see it. Did I do it right, you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty right. Romans 13:9. The commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and whatever other commandments there may be, are summed up in this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself.
That's right. Love your neighbor as yourself. So, as you can see, Romans is in the renewed covenant. Luke is in the renewed covenant. Matthew, or Lukos, Matityahu, Matthew, Yohanan, all of those books are in the renewed covenant. And if you believe that none of that stuff carries over, the whole Torah has all of the commandments. Everything is the same. There is nothing changed. Yeah, it's going to still be the same. But whether you call it the New Testament, the Old Testament,
excuse me, no, it's just
the original covenant, the renewed covenant, it's all going to be the same. Yah's still the same yesterday. He's still the same today. And tomorrow, guess what? For those of you who get to wake up, he's going to be the same tomorrow.
You ready?
And when I say you, those of you, that includes me. I mean, I'm not exempt out of that. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm going to make it. Y'all might not make it, but I'm going to make it. No. I'm just like you guys. So, let's see. I think we got 2 more.
Exodus 23:1. You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. That's a big one. Don't feed into other people's crap and lies. And, I mean, basically, don't gossip about it. Don't stand with him in the lie. Don't do it. Can't stand that crap anyway.
And don't just make one up.
Right.
And here's a good one that I know we're all guilty of. You got to go to work. You don't want to go to work. You call in sick, and you're not sick. That's a false report. Let that sink in a little bit. Maybe use a different one. Okay. Your friend really needs your help. They're going to move today. Yay, I know, right? They're going to move today. Guess who they call to help them out? Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to help you out today. I just got out of the hospital. They removed 7 spleens and 2 ribs, man. Oh, man, I ain't going to be able to help you. But tomorrow I'll be just fine. False report. And don't chime in to corroborate someone else's false testimony, false report, false witness, false prophecy. If they come up with some kind of new thing, that new speech that's clever, that they know people will bite, like a lot of these preachers do in churches, and that could be really lucrative. You're looking for some monetary gain or whatever, notoriety, and you hold his hand by taking part of his lie. You become as guilty as he or she, and you pay the price just like they do. Just to put it in another perspective for you. So we'll go on to the last one.
It's Acts 6, 11 through 13. Oh, pop up. It says free 40-day Lent devotional. Easter. Get your copy now. No, I'm good. I'll pass, hard pass.
Yeah, I think the Catholics are coming up with some kind of 6-day or 6-week fast. They got Lent or whatever that is coming
I have
up.
Lent in my pocket.
Yeah, I got. Some people have Lent in their belly buttons.
Right.
Not me though.
No, me either.
Uh-uh.
Acts 6, 11 through 13. Then they secretly persuaded some men to say, "We have heard Stephen speak blasphemous words against Moses and against Yah." So they stirred up the people and the elders and the teachers of the law. They seized Stephen and brought him before the Sanhedrin. They produced false witnesses who testified, "This fellow never stopped speaking against this holy place and against the law."
Well, against their man-made laws, against their perceived holy place, because a building is just a building. And don't let anybody try to, teach you about a building being significant in the eyes of Yah, because I'm telling you, if he's going to level an entire city, buildings don't mean nothing. But that's getting beside the point. Stephen was, he's one of the unsung heroes in my book because of all that he said and all that he did, and he had a righteous crusade against those that were against Yah, namely the Pharisees, Sadducees, and I'm not sure of how to pronounce those in Hebrew, but they stoned him. They stoned him, and Yah he was so pleased with him that he allowed him right before as they were stoning him, right before they stoned, that he opened his eyes so that he can see the heaven opening up before him, and he got to see the Master and the Messiah standing on the right hand of Yah, or sitting at the right hand of Yah. What were you writing?
I was making a note to myself.
Oh. I couldn't see what she was going to write. That's why I was like, did she need to say something? Or,
right, like I'd write it on paper.
What does that mean to me?
You're not deaf.
Gosh. So anyway, he got to see Yah, and he got to see Yahusha at his right hand. But, and they did the same thing to him that they did to Yahusha. They said that they lied on him. They bore false witness against him and said that he did and said all these things that he really did not do and say. And he died for it. And before he died, before he gave his last breath, before that one last rock hit him and took his life, he specifically charged Yah not to charge those people just like the Messiah did. He said, don't leave this to their charge, because they don't know what they're doing. And he was not the Messiah. Being upright and walking upright is not something that's beyond our grasp to do. We can be righteous. We can do the right thing. And we can go out like he did. Because you guarantee that right now he's alive, being passed from death to life. So, we have any comments?
Yes, we do. Bruce said, I think I'm going to cleanse this temple of mine by putting myself on a 3 or 4 day, it says warm wear fast.
Warm?
Yeah, WARM.
Oh. Well, you know you read lithium before. Worm or warm?
Warm.
Warm.
I didn't say worm.
Warm?
Warm.
Warm. So,
Don't start on the way I talk.
It's just
look
hard
steady,
to
boy.
understand when you say worm or warm or...
Worm.
Okay.
Warm. That's not the same thing. There is a clear worm. Warm. I ain't saying warm. That's ridiculous. Let me finish this comment that he made. Maybe then I can start with a clean slate, back to plant-based food. Should have never ate the garbage that I did. I've been feeling so good until now. Roblin said, we must remove ourselves from these kinds of people. Can't use the ribs as an excuse, as the rib bones are the only thing that replenishes itself or regrows.
Right. Well, is that true? Can your ribs regrow?
I didn't think so.
I've never heard that.
I haven't either.
I have to look that up.
He means he'll have me look it up. That's what he meant.
Oh, you're so funny. My phone talks to me. I can look stuff up. Nice.
You do so well, though. Aw, I love you.
I love you, too. And we love you guys. And
that sounded like Mr. Rod. That was some Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood kind of stuff right there. And we love you.
Some of these people don't even know who Mr. Rogers is. Being in Australia.
Oh, I'll send Roblin a
nice
episode
they probably know.
of Mr. Rogers. His neighborhood was nice. It was pretty good.
Tom Hanks just did a movie with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But I wanted to bring up what we were talking about earlier, but now it escapes me. No, it's not. Just we have so much to live for. We have so much to show each other, one another. Sometimes the best course of action is no action at all. Sometimes the best course of action is to go well out of your way, above and beyond. You have to use your discernment to make sure that it is not for your glorification, but Yah's. That your name not even be mentioned. It's best that, you do things, let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. That whole thing is truth. If you have something to say to people, if you have something to broadcast, let it be for the edification of their souls, that they may learn, they may become wise, they may obtain knowledge and understanding where they didn't have before, so that Yah receives the honor, the praise, the glory, the esteem, and not us.
Bruce is he's not feeling good again. The chills are back, so he said good night and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Bruce. You are in our prayers, man.
Absolutely.
I truly hope you feel better. That really sucks being on the road, and I hope that doesn't hold you back and make you late. I'm gonna be praying for that. So, renewed, miraculous, spontaneous recovery. It is a real thing. So feel better, brother.
In his fast, it was supposed to be warm water.
And what did he say?
Warm wear.
Warm wear. I was like,
I mean, you could sweat it out.
Yeah,
right.
I suppose so. But warm water, try saying a little prayer before it, trusting in Yah to bless it. Whatever it is that you eat, I mean, obviously within reason. We're not gonna, stand there with a big old pork foot hanging out of your mouth.
Right. It's not like Yah bless this ham that you've, forbidden us to eat.
That you made us not. No. Put your hands on this bacon, Jesus.
All right. Charlene said she loves Australia. Robin said that's why y'all chose Adam's rib to create Eve.
Because it grew back. Well, that makes... You know what?
Yeah.
I made a similar thing, and I don't want to... This is completely non-scriptural. I'm just telling you guys now that, this is completely non-scriptural, but it was interesting, enough for me to share with Tammy that, this is my personal opinion. Please don't just take this as entertainment, Who says that Yah stopped taking the rib from man at Adam? Who's to say that, when he took the rib from man and every man, that he didn't create his other half somewhere in the world? Sometimes near, sometimes far, but if we find her, we find a good thing. And we obtain favor of Yah because of it. And what I'm saying is, who's to say that I'm not missing a rib right now, and the rib that was taken from me, because Yah is still the same today as he was yesterday, and he'll still be the same tomorrow. I mean, who's to say that that's not how he does that every time? And Tammy was created with my rib, because I'm telling you, it's so scary how close we are. We are exact opposites, but in a good way, meaning that whatever I lack, she has. Whatever she lacks, I have. And we come together in a whole way that brings on a whole new meaning of complete.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just my, this is my opinion. It's completely non-scriptural. Don't please, go saying that, well, Corinthians said that, everybody's got their ribs taken out. But, I just, you brought up the rib thing, and it just, just clicked that I just said something about ribs and completely off the mark. I know. Don't judge me.
And you talked to somebody about beef ribs earlier in
I sure did. Beef ribs. Buffalo ribs, beef ribs, and pork ribs. Now, you guys, I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I love pork. I love the pork. I don't eat it anymore because, when you know better, you do better. But pork ribs, oh my gosh. Bacon.
Oh, yeah, bacon was the bomb. It's good. Good stuff.
A lot of people, Christmas ham, honey baked ham.
No, I don't like ham.
Some people didn't like it, but man, I grew up eating that stuff, because as a Christian, it was all right. As a Torah doer, Torah keeper, it's not okay. When you know better, you do better. And when you learned about something that you're not supposed to be eating. Oh man, but it's so. Why would he make something so delicious?
Because you can't eat it.
He made eagles too, but nobody flocking to fry up a giant bird.
Ew, who would want to eat an eagle?
Exactly.
I was being funny.
Right. But
oh my gosh, look at that little chipmunk over there. Chipmunk stew. No, that's nasty.
Hey, you'd be surprised.
Right,
man.
I mean, I'm sure there are people that even eat eagles. I mean, I'm just saying.
Here's a question I want to pose to you, Rav. I mean, you're pretty savvy. And I want to pose this question to you also. And you too, Charlene. I mean, I want you to know what you guys is. When they said that Yochanan, the immerser, or John the Baptist, was out there eating locusts and honey, did they mean locust the bug or locust the flower?
You know, in church, I always learned, I was always taught that it was the bug. But I don't think so. I think it was probably the flower.
I mean, this actually, doesn't really have anything to do with our salvation, and it was always a curiosity of mine because once I learned that there was actually a flower called a locust.
Right.
I was like, that's what he was eating?
Because, I mean, would locusts even be clean?
Would locusts be in the desert?
Well,
there's nothing to eat.
Locusts can be anywhere. I mean, they can, and they will travel over, large areas looking. So I mean, that's possible.
Okay,
but
don't know of many locusts in the desert.
Are they clean?
Are they?
I don't know.
If Yah said he was doing it.
But again, was it a flower and not a big old? I almost said something.
Big old bug.
Big old bug.
Do we have any comments on that?
Overcooked maple syrup turns to sugar and is good instead of honey or pork. Awesome on smoked fish.
Oh. From the chef, the master chef. Overcooked maple syrup is good on...
instead of honey on pork. Oh. And awesome on smoked fish.
Smoked fish.
I like fish.
I've never had overcooked maple syrup on fish, so that may be different.
Rodlin, have you ever made like burnt sugar syrup? Anyway, question. That was just a random question. It's really good.
I've had that too.
Burnt sugar syrup.
So Cheyenne, nothing. You
Charlene.
Charlene. What did I call her, Cheyenne? Charlene.
For sure.
It was the bug. That's what she said.
That's what Roblin said.
Roblin said it was the bug. Dipped in honey.
Get me a rose or something and dip it in that honey. That's going to taste better than a big old bug.
I don't know, man. Gut. To tell you the truth, I kind of doubt that I would want him to be... immersing me. He might have a leg in his beard or something. Piece of wing hanging out.
Wow. Y'all sense the judgment right here.
Like, you're kind of, you know what, you're a cool dude, man. You've been out here standing in the heat with all these people. You got blind people, you got a little antenna.
A little locust torso in your beard.
A little feeler, Never mind. I'll come back next week, all right? I'll be all right. Is there anybody else that does, immersions? Because
Roblin said, yes, we call it toffee, Tammy.
Hat. Oh, well, no.
Burnt sugar syrup.
Is it?
We just call it burnt. I always called it burnt sugar syrup.
You know how to make toffee?
I'm sure I could.
Have you ever made it before?
I have helped.
Okay.
My mama.
I've made toffee before. I don't know. I don't remember how to make it. Obviously, I can't see to do it now either. But
you need to stop that because you do really well with things. And you're like, don't use that as an excuse. You can do anything you want to do. Can't isn't in your vocabulary.
I have been corrected. And with that being said, if there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and cut you guys loose. I want to thank you guys for showing up and helping us to spread the word. Share this video for those that may want to come to Torah. Come to the truth of everything, of life, of the words of life. Come out of the lies, the false witness against Yah. I should have said that from the beginning. One of the greatest lies ever told. Oh my gosh, we've all borne some serious false witnesses against Yah with, idolatry, adultery, and, saying that Yah says that these things are okay. Yah knows my heart. That's bearing false witness against Yah, the Spirit, and Yahusha, and yourself. And that's also partaking in another man's sin, because you didn't come up with that. However, you're holding his hand right through it. Because when you know better, you do better. You are required to do better. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
That, one of the greatest false witness bearings is the lie of the Roman Catholic Church. The lie of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That you can get along without doing his will because you're under grace. That is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe it. Keep doing his will. Keep taking those commandments. Keep doing those laws. Keep loving him by doing so. Write it on your heart and share it with somebody else. That's it. That's all.
I want to say thank you to everybody, for praying for me this past week, this past Wednesday. Everything went well, so, praise y'all for that. Let's all remember to keep, what?
Almost said it.
Right. It's so hard. Also, let's, not forget to pray for Bruce.
Yep, pray for Bruce. And if any of you, I'll always keep you guys in my prayer. Mm-hmm. But if any of you have anything specific, PM me or Tammy, and we will pray. I know that a lot of people like to do it openly. I like to do it the way he told me to do it. So I'll go in my closet
and
I'll shut the door.
Right, and we will always, pray for people. We're not going to be like, I'm praying for this one.
Nope. We will pray for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure that your prayers are in according to his will, because obviously if you're praying that the moon just kind of skyrockets out of the sky and just lands on Donald Trump, I'm not praying for that. Not happening. It's not scriptural. It's not in his will. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think Rob Leonard certainly would be messaging us that anyway.
Yeah, well,
just saying.
Never know.
Right. So don't.
Shabbat Shalom. Hope Yah blesses your rest, as Tammy eloquently puts it every Shabbat. And we will see you guys next week, Friday, when we talk about how you should not steal.
Shabbat All right. Shabbat Shalom.
Are they saying anything?
No.
Okay.
Robin told me how to make maple sugar.
Okay.
Thank you, Robin, by the way. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I can't hit that button.